Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Welcome to Nerdy Gangsta's Gold Table Talk. Can I get a whoop whoop? I am so excited about tonight's discussion because we have tonight a phenomenal group of not only inspirational but motivational women represented at the gold table. And actually, it's perfect timing because we just launched our new fall campaign, which says dream it, believe it, achieve it. So, whatever your dream is, whatever your it is, and I put it in big letters because it's you. It's whatever your thing is. Because we believe that whatever it is, first you have to dream it, right? You have to see that vision. And then once you see it, then you have to believe it. You have to internalize it. And you have to, just believe that whatever that thing is that, God placed in your heart, that He is surely going to make it come to pass. Mm-hmm. So, but now it's like, okay, is it going to happen tomorrow? Probably not. Is it going to be easy? Most certainly not. But, are there going to be moments where you're going to want to give up? You're going to want to throw in the towel? More than likely. But that's why we have the gold table, because our hope is that something will be said tonight that, someone can relate to, that they can, hear your story, your story, and say, oh my God, if she went through that and achieved X, Y, and Z, I got this. Mm-hmm. So that is what we want to do tonight. Because, and I'm gonna tell, I love doing these gold table talks because it gives us an opportunity to really show, what Nerdy Gangsta is all about, what we truly embody. Because Nerdy Gangsta is not just a clothing line, but it's a lifestyle brand. And our overall mission is to show that being smart, but not only being smart, but just constantly growing, developing, seeking knowledge, that really is a cool thing. Mm-hmm. But not only that, we really want to inspire people to just be innovative, be bold, whatever your dreams, your it is, just pursue it with, just be fearless, pursue it with passion, and use your talents to make a difference. So that's our mission. And I oftentimes get asked, where did the name come from? But just real briefly, it started as a nickname that my daughter gave to me. And she, recalled just a situation that we went through a couple of years ago where my husband was diagnosed with cancer. And she was like, Mom, you didn't give up, just no matter what the doctor said, no matter what the prognosis was, you stood on your faith and you just read, you researched, you found out about alternative treatments, holistic treatments. And, long story short, here we are 5 years later. He's still here. Mm-hmm. No chemo, no medication, no nothing. So first and foremost, I give all glory to God. And I'm just so thankful that He sent, that information, those resources, and just, just gave us the strength to get through that situation. And so that was our nerdy gangster moment. And so after that experience, we just wanted to, we started the clothing line because we wanted to inspire others that may be going through something, maybe it wasn't that type of situation, but something, a challenging situation. And we just wanted to say, hey, you know what, whatever your situation is, you can get through it. You can push through, you can do this. And so it's funny, with the Dream, Believe, Achieve campaign, I was thinking about kind of what I wanted to focus on tonight. And as I was, reflecting on each of you all's individual stories, what came to my mind was a line from a poem that I remembered that said, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. And I was like, okay, that's old school. I was like, okay. So that was a line from Langston Hughes' poem, Mother to Son. And I Googled it, pulled it up, and I want to read it because I think it really adds context to what we want to talk about tonight, okay? So, Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. So it says, well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I's been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there is no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on those steps because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey. I still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. I was like, okay. First of all, I got chills. But I was like, that is so powerful because whenever you have a dream, that vision that you have, that thing that, that you want to do in life, like we were saying earlier, it's not going to be easy if it's worth having, right? And so just like she was encouraging her son to say, you know what, yep, it's going to get hard, but keep going, keep pushing. And so that's the nerdy gangster way. That's the nerdy gangster moment to say, okay, what's your story? Because I know what you all have accomplished, and I know it wasn't easy. So we want to just kind of go around and just kind of talk about, what was your nerdy gangster moment, or what was your nerdy gangster story where you had to push beyond those boundaries, It was funny. The first thing I thought about was you, Miss Alicia. No, because now Miss Alicia had a dream of opening a coffee shop. Now, okay, we've all heard of Starbucks, right? Okay. So she had a dream of opening up a coffee shop dead smack in the hood. And it's not just a coffee shop. It is a place for poetry. It's a place for live music. It's a meeting place for community groups. It's a bed and breakfast, a community garden. I'm like, girl. And just started from that one little seed, that little dream, And so what you have done has been truly, truly amazing.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and your nerdy gangsta story.
Okay. Well, good evening, ladies, queens, as I like to refer you all to. Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me. So, born and raised in the city of Detroit, I had a wonderful childhood. At least 50% of my family lived on the same block on the north end. So I had like 3 aunts, a great aunt, 2 uncles, cousins, and just the traditional old school, being a 70s baby, that is. It was rich. So I hold that very near and dear to my heart. So born and raised in the city of Detroit. Had a son at 21, at age 21. Did the single mom thing, movement, mission. I was working at the Troy Marriott and started as a switchboard operator, and slowly but surely moved my way up, where I then started working in the accounting department, and I was collecting 85% of the hotel's revenue. Excuse me. And then I started to travel and do acquisitions. So They would buy other hotels, and then I would go in with the accounting system and reprogram everything for the new Marriott. My son rolled right with me. He would be up under the table. I would work probably 6 days a week.
Wow.
I would work the weekend, Saturday. You know, I had rent, I had a car note, insurance, groceries. And we all go through that moment, us having children, that we want to give our children more than what we had.
Yeah.
And so that's why I call it the single mom movement.
Yeah.
But, you know, just did that for years. And so that's where I gained my hospitality. So fast forward, started looking to become a homeowner on the northwest side of Detroit. Started looking. It was terrible choices. And so I ended up looking at over 300 homes that was not fit for someone with a child, you know, a family, a woman. And I remember having this journal, and I would literally go to work every day. And then in the evening, we would pack a lunch, I would have a flashlight, and we would look for houses.
Wow.
And that was my job too. And so I kept running into an executive director of Motor City Blightbusters in the neighborhood, at the post office, at the Secretary of State, at the bank. And I was like, what do you do? And he said, well, we tear down crack houses. I said, well, I got like 300 addresses.
You can start on
God knows what he's doing. I have these addresses already written down for you in a journal. You know, they literally would have these signs out that would say, for rent. And I would say, for what?
Wow.
The kitchen sink would be on the front lawn, or the doors were off, or no plumbing, or just worst case scenarios, right? And so I got to know the organization. I started to volunteer. I then became the executive assistant, and I worked that position for 13 years, and I was doing community development, volunteerism. I ran a prison reentry program so that when our brothers would get out of jail, they would come to us and not just give them a number, but I'm talking about the deluxe package. When the brother get out, we're going to give you everything that you possibly need not to go back. So we ran that program. Helped folks become homeowners, gave them resources, taught them how to get money from escrow if they had a fire. You know, people, I would get this information from Washington, from the city, from the county, from the state, whoever, and I would just pour it out to the community. And so I became a community leader. And so in in 2000, I had this dream of having a coffee shop. You know, I traveled New Orleans, New York, all over. And I always would see, like, there would always be these little small neighborhood places, coffee shops and boutiques and restaurants, or a little bar or something. But that wasn't in Detroit, right? So we had the typical things, right? And so I said, we deserve it. We like nice things. And so I just said, I could have a coffee house. So I started to look, like I look for those houses. And I started to look. And then I went to this garage sale, and I bought this ceramic $2 coffee mug. It's huge. I think you saw it, Shelby. It's huge. It was $2. And so that night I had a vision and a dream of my coffee house, exactly what you see there today, with the hardwood floors and the tile and the granite. And so I just began, like, I saw it, and I had to do it. So if you do not finish your dream that is part of your purpose in life, see, God will keep presenting that lesson to you until you get it. And so I had learned, you know, yesteryear, I have to do this. I have to, you know, obey so I could be blessed. And so we found this place, and it was just a little small place, and it's just going to be little Alicia dream, you know, this little coffee house, you know, and people can come, lovers, and you can have a meeting and poetry and a little jazz, know what's going on in the community and how to start your own business, and maybe I can mentor in chess and summer camp and art classes, right? I had researched all of this. And so I went to go work for Starbucks for 9 months. So I could see what not to do.
Market research.
What to do, what not to do. I was a mold, right? So I was in there working, learning everything. and then building the coffee shop. And so learned everything from there, came on up out of there, and then it was time to get the financing to support the dream, right? And the business. So I put on my suit and I got my little attache case with probably nothing in it, but you know, it was a prop. And I went to the bank and I said, I am here to get a loan. I am opening up a coffee shop in Detroit on last year and I'm here. And they said, oh, do you have $250,000 in collateral assets and properties and all of that? And I said, no. And they said, well, when you do that, come back. And I said, okay. So I went out, and because I was the program manager of the prisoner reentry program, we paid guys every Monday. Everybody got paid through the program. Well, I was assigned on the account. They didn't say how my name needed to be on the account, but because I was assigned to United Way was my fiduciary, the books were tight, right? And so I used my name as being on that account as a way to have that $250,000 go through my name. So the first year that we did it, we did about $500,000 in program and projects. So I went back to the bank and I showed them, okay, I did $500,000, $250,000, and they say do half, and I said okay, so I did half. Got the guys to open up bank accounts, had financial literacy, taught them how to do ATM, how to balance a checkbook. I'm having everybody come into, the bank to open up a bank account. And then they said, I went back and I said, okay, I did $500,000. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's like 2003, 4. I had the vision in 2000.
Wow.
And so they said, wow, do $750,000. And I said, oh, you're playing. You're playing games. You have me jumping through hoops on fire. All I wanted was $30,000. Wow. Look how much I've already put through your bank that you've gotten loan off of because I researched you. And you won't give me 30? And I just had everybody open these accounts, shut them down. So all the guys, all the brothers shut all the accounts down. We shut Bank of America down in our neighborhood, Power of the People, and we began to raise the dollars that was necessary to create this coffee shop, this neighborhood coffee shop called Motor City Java House. We sold dinners. I had a makeshift table. I sold smoothies. By me working at Starbucks, I saved that money. That was mattress money, so I put that in there. I bought the paint on the walls with Coinstar. I took all my coins out of my purses. You know how we have little jingle in our purses, lady? All them old purses. Took it to Coinstar. That's how I bought the paint. Had to be split pea and butternut yellow. Because I wanted to obey. And that was the colors. That was called.
Okay.
But what I saw in my vision is what God gave me. And so we began to have poetry night, pass the hat. The artists started to come out, muralists, musicians, donors, supporters, sponsors, friends, family, selling waters, chess. I mean, you name it, they all came out. And so the place that I'm in is called the Artist Village. And so it takes a village to raise a child, but we wasn't just talking about it. We was actually being about it. And so we started to raise the dollars, do the floor stop, raise the dollars, do the blueprint stop, raise the dollars, do the, plumbing, the electrical, the floor, whatever we needed, the drop ceiling to do it. And so I sent my blueprints downtown to the great city of Detroit, City Hall, and I literally had to go upstairs, then go back downstairs, then go to the 4th floor, then go to the 5th floor, planning, building and safety, permitting, and left my blueprints there. We got to still raising dollars, still working it. Donations are coming in. We're using hardwood floors from abandoned crack houses that we had tore down to kind of reinstall, repurpose. Went back to my blueprints. My blueprints got lost downtown. We paid $10,000 for them. And then right after, this black cow that had come kind of like off Detroit, because we had the Kwame tsunami, right? And then we had the whole blight, abandonment.
Right.
And then we're going through a bankruptcy. And we had the housing market crashing, and then the bankruptcy. And I'm like, we're going to have split pee was. you're going to be able to bring computers in here. And everybody's like, Alicia, stop. It's 2008, it's 2009. You've been talking about that coffee shop for a long time.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I won't say nothing else. I just keep it to myself and just keep working. I just keep working. And so, literally, after the dust cleared, we had opened up. We had finished. We found the blueprints. We finished the renovation. It was $250,000 later. Didn't owe anybody. Didn't owe the bank, a loan officer, the credit union, Guido, Tyrone, Ray, nobody. God had made a way for all that to come. And when I opened up, I had a Mr. Coffee maker. My mama made me 2-pound cakes. And I was like, I'm open, because my goal was, if I sold one latte, one cup of coffee, I had did what God wanted me to do.
A successful
So
day.
I am to inspire. I am to inspire. God is using me in that area. I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
We've had everybody come. We've had Robert Townsend come to the shop, Wesley Jonathan, Martha Reeves. We had politicians, Radio Raheem, Booker, Cory Booker, the politician. God rest his soul. But we had Dick Gregory, who blessed the place. I've had people from Idlewild, from down south, from Washington, people in the Treasury Department. Obama sent some of his interns down to work with us. So my position of where I am is to inspire people, especially the babies, the community, to let them know that if you have a dream, you gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen, because it's all part of your purpose in your life.
Wow.